I need one.
Okay,
I'm dehydrated.
these are things you can buy to self-water your plants. We're going to show you how you make them. But I love this little IV. It's just a fun type of thing for someone who's not a good waterer at home. It goes on a stake in the pot.
You mean like me?
Yeah,
I mean, if you're like Ashley.
you, yeah,
yes.
yeah. Well, maybe you know him too. I don't know. And these are little mushrooms. You fill it with water.
So
you stick them in, and these little birds are real cute.
Oh wow!
But here's something really cool. This is a warning device. Okay, so when it is red and it flashes, that means your plant needs water. When it flashes green, that means your plant is good. So if you doubt yourself all the time, this is really a cool gift.
Does that really work?
It really does work. I'm telling you, it's like a moisture meter.
It says plant alarm light up moisture sensor, award winning.
Isn't that cute? I love that.
That is
Why
really
couldn't we
cute.
come up with something like that and retire?
Well, it's too late now.
It
is really cool.
Okay, what are you going to do for us today?
Okay,
Give us some other ideas.
We're going to do 3 different projects. Let's start over here. This one, all you do is get a plastic bottle. And you know, this is a good way to recycle your bottles.
Right.
And you're just going to cut the top. I puncture it first, cut it, not all the way through. I kind of leave it where it's like a little hinge door.
Right.
And then I'm going to tape it to a bamboo stick or any stick you have. I do one stick first, and then I tape the other one to it. Hang it upside down. I took the label off so it looks a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
And then you fill it with water.
So like if you're going out of town, this is a good idea.
And you can do a big 2-liter bottle if you want. Now see, and then you just unscrew the cap as much as you want it to drip. See how it's dripping?
Yeah.
And you regulate that drip on it.
Depending upon the plant and how much. Oh no! Oh buddy.
Okay, why are you trying to ruin
this
plant?
is why it should be just you and me.
Oh dang.
Not that personal.
He's like, and if you take the lid off, all the water comes
There you
out.
go, and there's no reason to have that now because, okay. All right, and then this one's good because you can take a plant in this pot and you get a nice cool vase. You could even put a betta fish in here if you want. And what you do is you go to a craft store and you can get fabric cording or this is a cotton string or rope. It has to be cotton. And then you just go through the bottom of this and then you're going to either tie it to a stick or just make a big knot.
It's just a wicking effect.
It's a wick effect. And you see these now when you go buy some house plants now.
Yes, I have a house plant that was given to me and it has this and I love this concept. It makes it so much easier.
You're going to fill it with pot and soil, plant your plant, set it in there, and it automatically waters itself. Easy.
That is so
And it's kind of fun because you can put little water plants in here. You can just do so many different things. Now, if you have a bigger plant, you need a bigger bottle. I like these bottles because they're square, so they stand up better in a pot. And you're just going to set that in the pot down. Let's say you have a plant in it. Open the cap up, and we're going to use our same wick. Now, you always want to put this in water first, because if you do it dry, it doesn't suck it, that way.
It's not going to absorb.
Yep. So then you're going to put that one in there, and then you're going to go ahead and bury it into the soil and just go down a little bit deeper. Maybe do 2 of these on both sides of the plant that's in here, and it will automatically start watering the plant. Now, this is not necessarily something you want to do all the time, but this is when you're on vacation.
If you're going to be gone away from your house.
And you can spray paint the bottle if you want to make it look nice.
Yeah.
Chris H. Olsen, how can we find you?
You can find me on chrisholsen.com.
And at Plantopia, Botanica Gardens.
That's where I'm at every day.
All right. These are great ideas.
When you go on vacation, don't forget about those beautiful plants. We appreciate you so much. Checking out some of these house plants. I never think about cacti being a house plant that we can have here in Arkansas.
Well, these are really cool because you've seen these, if you shop around a garden center, it's like, do they actually grow like this? No. This is a euphorbia, which is what this part is.
Oh, okay.
So they cut the euphorbia, they cut off the thorns, they slice it on both ends, and they graft on. You can graft on almost any type of cactus on top of it. And these are called sunburst cactus, and they're really colorful.
So
and these are the little babies.
A man-made cacti.
Man-made cacti in a way, and they're so easy and low maintenance. They love to thrive on neglect. So they like to be dry. But I'm going to show you how you use them. They're therapy. And I'm going to create what we call an inside sunrise. Or it could be a sunset as well. So I love long containers with these. So this is just a shallow little container that is rectangular. We're going to put some gravel on the bottom because this has no holes, and because of succulents, we do not want them to sit in water. So you got to be careful of that. And this is just crushed granite, any gravel. Put that in, and then there's 2 sizes. This is the larger one. And you just kind of shove and cram them in there. And I'm mixing the colors. I'm going to mix the red, the orange, and the yellow. That gives us our hues of a
sunrise.
Yeah. And then we can add in, this is a red one, I'll add that in between these.
I can already tell I'm going to love this.
And see, you put them at one in, one out, so it's not just a straight row. And then we're going to go ahead and let's put a yellow one like this.
And you said these love to be bunched together.
Oh, bunched together, yeah, because they don't have a tremendous root system at all. So that's the cool thing about it. And then you just kind of push them closer together, and then we do the ends.
That's cute.
And you don't need a lot of potting soil. That's the cool thing about this project. It just depends upon how shallow your pot is.
It's going to kind of fill the holes in, I guess.
Yep, so you want to put a little bit of potting soil.
Can I start?
Yep, you go ahead. And look how easy this project is. There you go. And then you want to always, mat that soil down in there.
Okay. And they are prickly on top.
They are a little prickly on top. I already have one thorn in me, so gloves is preferred, but it's easier.
Where's this?
And then this will just, does it need to be by a window or what?
Bright light, and now what we're gonna do is at the end of it, I'm gonna put more gravel on top of it.
Oh.
That kind of gives it a clean look, and then when you water it, you don't have the
So that's why you don't necessarily want it all the way to the top.
Okay, yeah, might have filled it too
and
high.
what this gravel does,
good.
it helps if these lean a little bit, you can shove a little gravel in between them and such. And see, look how pretty that looks. And so at the end of the day, on your desk at work or on your island in your kitchen, you now have your very own indoor sunrise.
How often do you have to do anything to this?
Water it, check it once a week. Now, if it's slightly moist, don't water it. Let it stay on the dry side. So probably you only have to water once every 2 or 3 weeks, and that's it.
This is so pretty. Look at this.
What a perfect little gift to
It's like you have blooms. You know, it looks like little flowers.
And this will always look this way.
I love this. Does it grow at all? I mean, will it get?
Well, the euphorbia will get taller, and then so they will get a little bit taller, but they don't really grow much wider.
Okay.
That's cool.
And and there's some important things to do. So we're going to put you two to the test.
Okay.
Right.
So I got 3 groups of 2 plants.
Yes.
And we're going to go from one set to the other set, and you guys got to tell me which one you should trim or can't trim, or maybe both of them you can't trim.
Okay.
And whoever wins gets the most gets to take one of these home. Okay. So
can we phone a friend?
No, it's too late. It's too late.
Chris Olsen is the friend.
We got these 2 hydrangeas.
Right.
So which of these 2 would you want to trim now and not trim now?
When you say now, meaning as ending of summer?
Yeah, from August through September,
Okay.
so the end of the year. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, so don't make fun of me. I'm going to say trim this one.
Okay, I have seen my neighbor who loves to garden out here clipping these, and they're collecting them. Okay.
Okay, so she's using them as floral inside. Okay, that's okay to do, but technically, both of these you should not be trimming this time of year. I know you're looking at me like I'm not going to cheat.
Yeah.
Anyhow, because these are still blooming. These are summer bloomers, the PG hydrangea, or this is a limelight, and so we want to keep these blooming, and they bloom on new wood. So these you trim in February.
Okay.
Not this year. This is the old-fashioned mop top, which bloom on old wood, so you do not want to trim them now because otherwise you sacrifice flowers
So
in
the
spring.
answer is neither.
Yep.
No.
So far you're tied.
Okay.
All
right.
Now we got these
both
2.
losers.
We got our Japonica camellia, which blooms, of course, in the winter, and then we have our evergreen yew.
All right, so this blooms in the winter, and then our Utopia yew, like I know what I'm talking about. All right, I'm going to say neither one again. Yeah.
I'm going to go with this one. Trim it now.
Okay. You're both wrong. Okay, the evergreen, you can go ahead and trim those any time of year, but normally once we get towards November, we stop trimming. We do our last trim on evergreens. Now, this is going to be our winter bloomer, so if you trim it now, what are you going to do?
Okay.
You're going to sacrifice the buds that it's developing right now.
I listened to that part. That's why I said that when I was paying attention.
So we still got hope.
Okay.
Okay, so we got our grass and our azalea. So which one can you trim now? And which one should you not trim now?
I'm going to say you trim this one.
Okay.
Just to make things interesting, I'll go with the other one.
Okay, well, you won.
Yes!
Okay, so
I love it.
even though the grass is starting to bloom, it's a grass like a lawn. If it gets too big for the space, you can trim the sides, or if you want, trim it now, and it will still go ahead and have its seed heads coming up in November.
Yeah.
This is an azalea. Azaleas bloom when? in spring.
In spring.
So you do not ever want to trim spring blooming plants after July.
All right.
Once again, my neighbors that are out here collecting things are like, you need to start doing things around your house.
I know. We do provide services.
That's good to know. You know, our homes and gardens, they can flourish any time of the year thanks to evergreen plants. So you brought some different options, different textures and colors. Tell me about the plants that you brought today.
Well, most evergreens are the foundation plantings in any landscape. And what we usually think of are boxwoods, which I happen to love.
Right.
But we think of hollies, and that's all we see almost anywhere we go. So everything you see here is a winter hardy evergreen plant. And we talked about it before. It's not necessarily just about the color of the plant or the flowers. It is all about the different textures that you have.
Okay.
And all of these are low maintenance. And I brought some things for the hot sun, some things for the shade. So we're going to kind of go over it. First thing is, let's start on our side over here. You love this plant right here.
This is so pretty. It almost looks tropical to me.
It is. It looks tropical, but it's winter hardy, except for when we have Arctic blast, it can burn it down, but it comes back. And this one's called Spider Fatsia.
Okay.
Regular Fatsia has green leaves, but if you notice, this one kind of has a white variegated to it, so that gives it a little bit more color, and it grows in a great dark area.
You can grow it anywhere.
Yeah,
almost.
like if you have a dark porch, or if you have big, long covered eaves, and they darken down below, Fatsia is perfect for it.
And this gets pretty large.
Yeah, it can get about 8 foot tall.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it gets good size.
Almost as tall as Adam.
Yep. Yes, this will be as good for Adam.
Yeah.
And then for other shade areas, this one is beautiful. This is called the plum yew.
This one right here?
Let's call it the plum yew right here. There you go.
So make sure you can see that.
Look how beautiful that is. The texture of it, it's soft and wispy,
Yeah.
dark green. Again, it can take, semi-shade to shade, so it's great plant. Good drainage is a must for it.
Okay.
I love when the new growth comes out. It's light green.
Oh yeah, I see that. So it's got a little variation.
And it's called Utopia, not Plantopia, but Utopia.
Got it.
Love that. Now this is the one that we were almost looking at.
Right, let's pull that one
And this is a Mahonia called Soft Crest.
Okay.
Now Mahonias are also called Oregon grapes, and a lot of us think of them because they're real sharp foliage and they look like a holly. But this will get about 4 or 5 foot tall, light and wispy, also a shady area.
Okay.
Perfect for it.
So let's do this one. Say that you want to, brighten things up a little bit. You want some variation.
Yeah,
you want
look
it to pop.
This is a little bit more sunshine. This is Abelia. This is variegated Abelia. Love this plant because it also comes in lime green. And the old Abelia used to be a huge hedge. This is a dwarf variety, maybe 2 or 3 foot, variegated. Love this plant too.
That's really pretty.
Look at this one. Now this is Laura petalum, or we also know as purple fringe. This is a smaller version of it, but this is called jazz hands.
That's
and
great.
I'm not exactly sure why, but maybe it looks like it. But look at the variegated foliage. I mean, imagine planting this.
That really brings color.
Yeah, it brings color. Imagine planting that with that in a garden.
That's
Boom.
pretty.
And I bet you your neighbor doesn't have it.
What is this on the end?
Love these. These are yuccas, which are old-fashioned plants. But this one is wonderful because it's called red yucca. And it doesn't have the big thorny sword foliage. But when it blooms in spring, tall spikes of orange flowers that looks just like an aloe vera.
Okay, I love that.
Easy. And if you have a drought area in your yard, you want this. You can mix it with the variegated, or it's called color guard.
I love that look.
Yucca, love that look. And last, I did bring some boxwoods because remember, they are my favorite.
Yes, and you can't go wrong with these.
You can't go wrong. This one's called Green Gem. It's a little softer foliage, smaller size, and then the variegated boxwood.
It's Chris H. Olsen from Plantopia and Botanica Gardens, which you can find in North Little Rock and Little Rock. And stop by there. You'll find these plants and more. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.